Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is MegaShadowFist, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice for All, Thursday edition. You might be saying, why is this Thursday edition? It's because, for one reason or another, I won't be able to record this on Friday at my usual time, so I'm kind of on a crunch schedule this week, so I'm recording this on Thursday, so I didn't get a chance to see what your guys' recommendations for what I should do were, in the previous episode, because the episode hasn't gone live yet. It's been edited, but it hasn't gone live yet, but anyway, without further ado, while I was editing, I sort of figure there's still something that I can do here, right? So I'll show you what that is. We'll go ahead and go to continue and go from save point. So what we need to do is go to the very tail end of the whatchamacallit here, right? That's when someone showed it up. That was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, man on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. This was it, I believe. Let's go ahead and press. I believe this was it. I think so. Annoying brat. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Okay, so we tried the third option, right? But here's the thing. I said it was not important. This time let me try saying that it is important. See what that does for me, eh? I hope that'll help me out. If it doesn't, well, I just might. I have another idea actually aside from that, but it was very important. Here we go. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Oh, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must...
Random car passing by.
He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Okay, let me press this first. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he is wearing it.
She is so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. Why can't I read at the beginning of any recording session? She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, blah, blah, blah. That's stuff that we've already seen before, so... Alrighty then. So let's go to the very tail end again. Because obviously if they made us append it, that means that we're going to have to present evidence for that. I would assume so, right? That's when... Oh, wait. Actually, yeah. Wait, wasn't... He was wearing his flashy racing... Hold on, let me go back. It was on guard, man on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Let's try this. Cause he was wearing his Hakama, wasn't he? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's button number 2 on the Jammin' in his costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
Wow. She really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. Yeah, actually, that is kind of weird when you think about it. Even for Miss Oldbag. This button was discovered on Mr. On Guard's body during a full-body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the rascal on guard!
I feel like I've changed her voice again. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants.
See? See? And the guard is a nickel samurai!
Witness! Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Madame Guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Ah! I'm so sorry! Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear! If I'm wearing that but I said I have to put him the way ridiculous out! You agree? The stuff is hideous, right? If I have record a second chance, let me tell you! It's heavy, so heavy, ultra weird! So what you say is the danger move! You don't even like those kids out there work with the face, don't you understand? Now take a look in the mirror! You're close up right this! Talk to me, you're curling, you have to share this! Now he's got style!
Now hold your tongue there for 1 second. What you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man, but Mr. On Guard, the nickel samurai.
But when you think about it, there really really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you really think so too?
Well, it might be something worth thinking about. Just say it's important to agree with me for a change! Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you! Who I saw!
On guard! On guard! Yes, now I remember! The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw! Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan!
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume!
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume?
Possibly. They did say that he was acting really weird. That he was acting pretty strange, wasn't he? They did say that. Like, if you remember at the very beginning of this case, right? They were like, "Oh, the Nickel Samurai seems to be a little different than usual, right?" So I don't know.
Inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such real things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else!
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth!
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Alrighty then. Apparently this is supposed to be a really long case, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, so, yes, I believe someone said pack your pretzels? I hope you brought some pretzel sticks or something. Anyway.
On guard! On guard! Yes, now I remember!
Press. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Humph! Watch your language, young man! What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything! If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs!
What?
A striking figure by the sea is standing all alone as he's the Nickel Samurai!
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Ungard, could you please do something about this racket? Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought that my singing was pretty funny. I don't know, I'm stupid. Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay! You promise, right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum.
The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it's the Nickel Samurai that I saw!
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be a Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what?
See? And look at where you are now! You're not a Judge Wagner! Are you?
Well...
What I said earlier! Who puts my weight into things like that? That now is everything! I can't help responsible for the past!
Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? Since the first game?
All that matters that man was inside that costume! Isn't that enough?
Okay.
Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder!
And why would that be?
That way, no one can see his face, of course!
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say!
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I get it! Maybe it's more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume!
Okay.
He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know!
He didn't know about that. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja.
Of course it included him. That's why when our guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
Press. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was a nickel samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in our testimony that's sitting in plain sight. The question is, what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Well, what I was saying was that he wouldn't have planned this out because he didn't know about the ceremony, right? Okay, the nickel samurai, that's right, it was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after crime, you know. Here's the thing, he didn't know about that, so what can I present to let them know that the nickel samurai, that's not gonna work. Seems like the nickel samurai has to confess something after the testimony show. Radio transceiver, Lada's camera, magazine clipping, hotel guide map, guitar case, wine glass, crime photo, that's not gonna do anything. Suicide report, attempted suicide report, Juan's autopsy report, knife, Damn Ninja's button. What happens if I were to... I mean, this is supposed to be a really long case, and there aren't gonna be any Cyclops to recharge my thingy, so I have to be very careful about this. Do I want to do this? Seems like the nickel samurai is a confess. It's worth a try. Let's go with it. No, that didn't work. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in the statement just now related? They aren't they? Not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. Oh, sorry for a second. I just played. So I just got a text message. I was like, whoa. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Okay, he had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Wait! But he was arrested right afterwards, wasn't he? I mean, well, and that doesn't really prove anything. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. The nickel samurai, that's right, it was a nickel samurai that I saw. On guard, yes, now I remember. Nickel samurai, that's right, it was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume in the murder. I guess so. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. What am I supposed to present? I feel like I found the contradiction is that he didn't know, but how exactly do I prove that? Do you guys have any ideas, ladies and gentlemen? Profiles? What exactly does that do for me? If I present him, would that do anything for me? I don't think so. This is probably incorrect, but I'm gonna try it. Nope, it didn't work. It was worth a shot. How am I supposed to prove this then? I thought... Oh, was that a new one? I don't know if you said that before. Okay, so we got 2 strikes. You know, I follow the 2 strikes you're out rule. You know, for this one, ladies and gentlemen. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Wait, that's it. That's the thingy. That has to be it, right? He was strangled. Maybe that's it. Juan's autopsy report. He was strangled. Perhaps that's it. Nope. The evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose on purpose just so that, you know, I can get my health, I get my whatchamacallit back. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Oh, I thought that would have worked. I mean, I thought so. You know, wouldn't it be ironic if in my attempt to do something wrong, actually, you know, I'm gonna, just to make sure I don't accidentally present the right thing. We'll go with this. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in that statement related? They're not. Blah, blah, not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. Alright, there we go. That's enough! This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpreting of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Matt Angard, guilty! The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. Continue from save point. At least we'll have, like, pretty much the entire thing back. Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things, but that's a possibility, does it, blah, blah. So we saved just a little bit before the cross-examination, so we have to skip through this a bit. I'm not going to give it a dramatic reading again. I'm not going to press everything again. Don't worry about that. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. You know, just in case I have to do that whole force reset again, I'm not doing a mega run on this, you know. I think that's what I'm going to call it, the mega run, you know. What episode was that I mentioned it on? I can't quite remember, but it was like, I mentioned in one episode, like, a really tough playthrough of this game. I don't think I'd be able to do that, in all honesty. Well, maybe if, like, I was playing by myself and I had, like, all sorts of time or something. On guard and God, yes, now I know. Now remember, the Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Perhaps that might be it. You had to go to the post-samurai station right at the crime, you know. Okay, let me press statements 2 and 3 again, just to make sure, like, I don't know, to wear his costume during the murder. Press. And why would that be?
That way no one can see his face, of course!
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think that the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say!
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I get it! Maybe it's more troublesome for the change in and out of his costume!
Because he had to do the whatchamacallit. Is that what you're telling me? I think that's what you're telling me. He had to go to the post-ceremony show right at the crime, so he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Of course, that also... okay. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. I mean, it's a... Oh, didn't Gumshoe say it's a big knife to begin? What is it going to do with the knife? Press. What is it going to do with that knife, huh? Huh? Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife! Big deal! If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work!
No, that's not my intention at all. That's a knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving. No, that's not what I was driving at. I was saying, where's? It depends. What is he gonna say? What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Miss Arnott was really the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Oh, that's also true. I'm stupid. I should have caught that. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on his knife right off. Oh, that's right! The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began this stabbing. That doesn't make sense, Edgeworth. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there's one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. We'll hear that in the next episode. Awkward pause. See you guys in the next episode. Ah!